Hi, Floss Tube friends. This is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Friday, July 3rd at approximately 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you today with a Floss Tube update. So thank you very much for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, this is my YouTube channel where I share with you my love of cross stitch, other crafts that I like to do, video games, other hobbies I have, and just throw in some life anecdotes for some little extra something something. So thank you very much for stopping by. Hopefully you'll find something here that will encourage you or enable you to try something new if you've never stitched or never tried any other crafts or whatever I do, or just visit. Hopefully you'll find something here that will pique your interest and you will decide that you like to come back and you will become a good friend. So thank you very much for stopping by. I always really like meeting new people and I'm glad you're here. So thank you very much. If you're a returning watcher, I really appreciate you coming back by. I really like all my friends here on YouTube, and I'm so glad that you have chose to spend some time with me today. And if you're a returning subscriber, you're a great friend, and thank you for coming back. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I think that you're really special. I think that you're wanted. I think that you're loved, and I think you belong here. So this is a safe spot, and I give mom hugs. So if you're finding yourself a little bit maybe lonely because of some other people that were once part of your circle no longer giving you the support that you deserve, please reach out. If I can't help you directly myself, I will try and find somebody that I know that can hopefully help you. But just know that you belong here and you're wanted, and I want you here, and I want you safe, and I want you loved. So just think that you just know that here with me, you are safe and you are welcome, and I'm glad you're here. So thank you very much. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming, and thank you for stopping by on this July weekend, getting ready to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the United States becoming a free country. Unfortunately, I do not have the spirit this year in me to really get into, and I'm sorry for the glare. My laptop is putting the blue glare on my glasses. I have blue light filtering on my glasses, so you're seeing the blue reflection of my laptop that is right under my filming camera. But anyway, to get back into it, I am not feeling um, any kind of great love, I guess, for the current country that the atmosphere in the country that I currently live in. I'm here in the United States, and for quite obvious reasons, I am not really feeling the whole patriotic happiness and exuberation that a lot of other people may be feeling at this point in time. I can't get into the spirit this year because the country that we should be living in isn't what we have to live in right now. And it's not making me feel like really getting into the whole 250 celebration. So just know that I am happy. I do have a little bit of patriotic things. So I have a glucose sensor on my thing. So I have patriotic gnomes on my glucose sensor. Um, that is really about all the patriotism that I am really showing. And if you see, you can't see that I'm wearing patriotic gnomes on my glucose sensor because my t-shirts hide my glucose sensor, my shirts and stuff that I wear. So you can't even tell that I am really, you know, um, celebrating. Anyway, I also have my uh, rainbow meeples earrings in. Meeples are a board game piece, player piece for some of the board games that my husband and I like to play, and I have my rainbow meeples in. A couple weeks ago was our huge board game convention here in Columbus, and I put these on for the convention, and I haven't taken them off yet because June was also Pride Month. And anyway, so I still have my rainbow meeple earrings on, uh, both both of them. So this one is sideways. There we go. Turn it back. There we go. A little better. But anyway, um, so yeah, I'm just not really feeling the whole patriotism thing this time around. But anyway, tonight's video, I have some June wrap up stuff. I have some June progress to show you. I have some plans for July and some plans going into August. So sit back, relax, grab something to drink, grab a stitchy project, or just sit back and watch, or put me on and listen to me in the background. Um, while you maybe clean your house or do something else, mow your yard or whatever. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. But I have to share some haul with you, a little bit of haul with you and whatnot. I have so on my channel, I do a lot of other crafts and such. I diamond paint, I have sticker crafts, I crochet. I have some Woobles kits. And so I'm sitting in my craft room. So this is just some of the stuff back behind me. I have a stack of finishing over here. These are some whips that I've got to show you. I owe you guys a whip parade. So this weekend I plan on starting to record the whip parade for you guys. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I have 92 whips to show you. So so you're going to see a 92 whip parade, a 92 whip parade, and everything like that. So yeah, you'll get some stuff out of, some good enabling out of that, hopefully. And also, I don't know how long it's going to take for me to record it, so it may be in several parts that I upload it, just to kind of keep them, to 30 to 45 minutes. So we'll see kind of how long it takes me to record, and I'll break it down as I see fit. But I am planning on doing the whip parade recordings this weekend. So that is really good. I also have a little bit of life update for work and whatnot that's going on, and just stuff like that. So I do have, one of the things I watch on here on YouTube is I watch a lot of Disneyland streamers, because I grew up in Southern California and we lived 15 minutes from Disneyland, and we used to go to Disneyland several times a year. Well, if you follow Disney prices in the past like 5 to 10 years, they've become pretty much unattainable. Tickets to Disneyland have been pretty much become unattainable to just the random people. It used to be you could get into Disney for 28 bucks back in like the 80s. And now tickets, one-day tickets into one park are over $150 for the day. And that doesn't include parking. It doesn't include food. So for one pass to get into Disneyland, you could easily spend $500 to $600 for a day at Disney. And used to be you could go into Disneyland for about 150 bucks. By the time you pay for parking or not, you get dropped off and buy your $30 ticket, and then $100 for food and whatnot. You can't do that anymore. So one day at Disneyland can cost you $500 to $1,000, depending on how many people you have with you and what you're buying when you're there, and if you're getting into lightning lanes and whatnot, so you're not spending 3 hours in all the big lines. But I have Disney streamers up on the YouTube. They are at Disneyland right now, enjoying their night at Disneyland. And we have Gus, our outdoor male cat, just jumped up into the window. That is our outdoor outdoor cat Gus. Anyway, so like I said, I have some June wrap up, some haul, some stitching updates, and some stitching plans and stuff going on for the near future. So and a little bit of life news thrown in for good measure. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the stitching stuff so we can kind of get through that. So I use this tracking sheet to track each day, like you know, what project I've worked on and how many stitches I get in. This is the first half of the year. So we have January, February, March on this side. And then we have April, May, and June on this side. June is over here. And you see these green dates. Those are Origins Game Fair. And I did not get a lot of stitching in June. You see all those dates with no stitching. I did not stitch much in June at all. So here are my statistics for June. For June, I stitched 782 stitches. Let me get my, so I was talking about my June stitching. So I had mentioned here, there is my June stitching right there. I did not get much done. It's not going to focus. I wish it would, but it's not going to. But anyway, I didn't stitch very many days in June. So in June, I was saying that I stitched 782 stitches on 2 projects. The 2 projects that I worked on is Lindy Stitch's Jackalope Tapestry and a new to me and new cross stitch, stamped cross stitch piece called Plush Companions and the Stars that I affectionately call Cartoon Witches by Painting Fairy. And it was a new start for me this month or in June. So I have those to show you. So the first project that I worked on in June was Lindy Stitch's Jackalope Tapestry. And this is what Jackalope Tapestry looks like. So it's by Lindy Stitches. Sorry about the glare, you guys. There you go. So I have a little story about the jackalope. I saw this pattern several years ago. This one came out in 2021. Saw this pattern several years ago on Lindy Stitches, one of Lindy Stitches YouTube videos, where she was talking about new releases. And I went to college at the University of Wyoming in Laramie, Wyoming. And we always had, there's an urban legend going around that whole area about jackalopes, which are basically hares, wild rabbits, jackrabbits, that have antelope antlers on them, thus jackalopes. It's an urban legend. They don't exist, at least not that I'm aware. They do not exist. And the interesting thing is at the University of Wyoming, one of the old, I'm going to go ahead and flip this up. One of the old hazing rituals with the fraternities on campus used to be to take new pledges out to the foothills surrounding the town and take them jackalope hunting. So they would take them jackalope hunting and they would leave them out there for, you know, half a day, whatever, or maybe sometimes even overnight to go jackalope hunting. And of course, you know, unsuspecting people didn't know that jackalopes didn't exist. So it was kind of a known hazing ritual that some of the fraternities on campus would do. So when I saw this piece from Lindy Stitches, I had to get it. And this was a piece that I had started. I started this March 13th in 2022 as part of March Madness that year. I was participating in March Madness, which is a stitching event during the month of March, very similar to the basketball March Madness thing, where you pick 16 whips and you pit them against each other, and at the end of March Madness, you get a winner. You know, however that happens to be. Steel City Stitchers here on YouTube, out of Steel City in Pennsylvania. I believe it's the Pittsburgh area. They do this every year, or they were doing this every year. I haven't watched their channel in probably about 9 months or so. It's been a while since I've watched their channel, so I don't know if they're still doing like March Madness stuff and whatnot. But the Steel City Stitchers out in Pennsylvania, they were the ones that kind of came up with March Madness. And I had started this piece in March of 2022. And I'm stitching it on 40 count Newcastle linen in the color Way Vintage Mocha using the called for flosses. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but that is all of the stitching that I have left. I'm going to try turning on this overhead light to see if it works better. Yeah, I don't know if this overhead light, I think, is going to wash it out. So I'm just going to go back to this light. So this is all the progress that I have made on Jackalope Tapestry. So it is pretty much just this top border here. I haven't gotten very far on this since starting this in 2022. And this is on 40 count, and I am stitching this 1/2 full cross using one strand. And I actually filled in the entire border for the month of June. So in the month of June on Jackalopian Tapestry, I stitched 270 stitches on Jackalopian Tapestry. And this is where I'm at. I really need to get this worked on. It's not that big of a piece, and I'm really enjoying working on 40 count. But this is being put away for now. It may come out later on this year, but this is being put away for now. But there is where I'm at on Jackalopian Tapestry and where I ended for the month of June. And this is just a generic mesh bag that I have that I've been putting this in. So, yep, that is Jackalopian Tapestry. All right. And then the next piece that I worked on is a new start. This is a kit that I purchased off of Painting Fairy Cross Stitch. It is very much an aesthetic that I really like. I call it Cartoon Witches, but it is not called Cartoon Witches. I believe it might be AI generated, but I'm not entirely sure. But it is an artwork style that I really, really like. It's kind of an cutesy anime, almost a Pusheen Sanrio type aesthetic. And I really like this type of artwork. And when I saw this stamped cross stitch kit, I had to get it. So I ordered this, I think, last year and got it in. I decided to start it for June. So this is the picture of it. It's by Painting Fairy Cross Stitch, and it is called Plush Companions and the Stars. I'm not sure if you can still get this on their website, but it is a stamped cross stitch kit. So this pattern is actually stamped onto the fabric. I purchased 20 count Ada stamped cross stitch fabric for this, and it came with the flosses as well. So the interesting thing, the reason why I started this in June, I have in my Facebook news feeds, I have been seeing a lot of these companies, these Asian companies from Cambodia and Thailand and whatnot that do big, huge stamped cross stitch kits and stuff that you can order online. And they use these rods and they stitch basically in hand using the sewing method. So basically, instead of stabbing it all the way through, pulling the thread through, stabbing the needle back through, and then pulling the thread back through to the front, you sew. So you put your needle in the top hole and back down through the bottom hole that you want to put your stitch in, and you keep doing that. It's called the sewing method. So they use the sewing method and they hold the pieces in their hands using a rod, using two rods, the top and bottom. So you have the two rods, top and bottom, like this. And basically you use one, you have it rolled up and you have this one sitting down, and then you have this other one in hand, and you sew like this, all the way, forward and backward. But you basically sew in hand. And I kind of wanted to try that. So I decided that this stamped cross stitch piece was enough and small enough that I could do that. So I have been looking for rods, little lightweight rods that I can hold in hand and use for trying to stitch in hand. It's a new thing that I kind of wanted to try. And with stamped cross stitch, one of the things that you really have to be careful of is you cannot stitch if your hands are sweaty or wet, or if it's raining or whatever, you can't stitch anywhere near water because your stamped piece, see, this is the entire stamped cross stitch piece. If your stamped fabric gets wet, your pattern goes away. This ink will not stay on your pattern at all if it gets wet. It'll go away. So usually with stamped cross stitch kits, when you buy them, they come with a booklet, a pattern booklet, so you actually get the pattern as well. But anyway, I went to Lowe's and I was looking at the hardware store because we had to go to the hardware store for some stuff. I was looking at the hardware store and I found these PVC, these are PVC pipe tubes. These are 1-inch PVC pipe tubes. I found these, I believe they're 2 feet. They're 2 feet long. And each of these tubes was like $2 and some change. So I bought 2 of them wanting to try the stitching in hand method, and I've been enjoying it a lot. And it's stitching up really fast or faster than my normal stab and stick method that I use. And normally with my full coverage pieces and the other stamped cross stitch pieces that I have started, I have them on scroll frames. So it's basically the same type of thing, but I wanted to be able to also potentially just take this with me and travel with it. And you see, this travels a lot better than this. This is a scroll frame, and this is one of the other stamped pieces that I have on, but it's rather big. It's tall and rather big. And I was hoping to be able to just have something that I could take with me in hand and work on just in random spaces. And you see, this is a lot smaller footprint than having a big scroll frame like this for it. So this thing down here on this bottom rod, so I'm stitching it. This is the top. You can see, let me show you this. So this is the top. You have the schematic down here on the side, and then your picture here. So you can kind of make out, like, here's one of the witch's hats. Here's a little planet, stuff like that. So you can make out the colors, but the printed color on the canvas is not the actual color that you're stitching. So for instance, this dark color up here is actually this really light pink. So you can see the stitching is over the dark color, but the printed color on your canvas is not the color you're stitching with. It's not the color of the floss that you're stitching with. So that's what makes stamped cross stitch fabric interesting, because you're not stitching the same color that is on your piece, that is on your fabric. So anyway, I have this new start, and with this piece I have stitched 512. Yep, 512 stitches. This was one of my whip go squares. I decided to do a new start, and it made this my whip go square. So I had to get 250 stitches in on this, which I did. And I'm stitching this 1/1 full cross. So I'm stitching with 1 strand because this is 20 count. And the coverage is really nice. So where I got to, the 500 stitches is up here in this corner. So you can see all of this right here is stitched. I can show you the back. So you can see, there's the back. That is what my back looks like. So that is the 512 stitches on here. So I got a really nice start on this. I am keeping this out for the month of July for further stitching, because I am using this for a couple of stitching challenge Facebook groups this month, and everything. Anyway, so this is kind of about how much I have exposed when I'm stitching in hand. I have this part, the top part, resting on my scroll frame holder, my floor stand holder, because I have pegs on it that I can just rest this on, and then I can hold it. It kind of rests like this on my scroll frame, and I can have this kind of up against me, and I can stitch using the sewing method on here. And I'm really enjoying that a lot. I'm actually, so one of the things that I wanted to do with this is the bigger pieces, like this one here that is on my floor stand or on my scroll frame. I'm thinking that I actually want to do the same thing with this one by putting it on these on rods similar to this and being able to just kind of stitch on it anywhere, because I can take this into the living room with me and stitch. I can stitch on this in here without having to have a big scroll frame stand or a big stand or a way to hold the big heavy scroll frame. So what I did was this week we went to Lowe's again, and I was going to get another set of these 2-foot PVC pipe tubes. Um, they're like $2.87, I want to say. But instead of getting 2 of these, I found the actual same PVC pipe in a longer tube, in a longer strip, and I was going to get 2 of those to make 2 more sets. So I was going to cut them in half, make 2 more sets. But then I was like, these actually can be kind of heavy and they're a little thick. They were a little thicker than I wanted. So we were looking around and I found these. So the neighbors are setting them off. This is also PVC piping. I don't know. There we go. This is also PVC piping made in USA. This is, I got this at Lowe's. It's the size over here. There it is. 1/2 inch by 15 millimeter. 1/2 inch, 15 millimeter. Ultra pure CPVC. So this one is quite a bit thinner. Let's show you. So this one, maybe it's not, well, yeah, you can see this one is quite a bit smaller than the other ones that I have. So I'm hoping with the bigger ones, these smaller ones will be easier to hold. And I have 2 of them. So this is the other one over here, right there. I am going to be cutting these in half and using them for my other in-hand projects. So anyway, this piece here, this flowered fabric thing, this is a scroll rod protector. This is a little scroll rod protector, and it's basically just a strip of fabric that is sewn, and it's got magnets on the ends. It's got magnets on the ends and a magnet in the middle. So when you fold it in half lengthwise, it will cover your scroll rods and protect your fabric. Because you have to be careful with stamped cross stitch and getting it dirty or wet, I have taken this and used it to cover the bottom part where most of my fabric is for my stamped cross stitch. I have used it to cover that so I can hold it in hand and not really worry about it getting dirty. I am seriously considering making me some of these longer so they can easily cover my bigger pieces that I want to work on in hand. But anyway, that is what it looks like. So it just kind of covers your scroll rod. And so with the stamped cross stitch, the nice thing about holding this in hand is you can roll it from both directions, whichever way you want. And then these are actually fairly easy to hold in hand. So I just kind of hold it with my left hand and sew with my right hand because I'm right-handed. So my right hand does most of the work. My left hand holds most of the weight. And that's what I've been doing with this piece. So I started a new way of stitching with this Painting Fairy cross stitch piece. And I don't have the flosses with me, but this came with a set of floss that was already pre-carded. So those were the 2 pieces that I worked on for the month of June, and I started a new in-hand stitching process. So that was great. All right. So I'm going to show you my Whipco board and show you where I got to. for the month of June. Maybe. There's my WIPGO board. So for WIPGO, you can see I finished this square here, but I have not filled it in. I have not colored it in. I did finish that square. And it's not wanting, I'm sorry, my camera is not wanting to focus for you. Yeah, my camera is not wanting to focus for you up close, and I apologize for that. So anyway, let's see, can I get it to focus? There we go. So I did finish this full coverage project in June. And that is the cartoon witches that I just showed you. I did finish that. So that was my WIPGO thing for June. July's pieces, July's WIPGO squares are square number 9 and square number 17. Square number 9 here is Stitch a Monochromatic project. And then the other one is Stitch a Mill Hill kit, number 17. The only other, one of the things that I wanted to show you for February, I had square 22 that was draw a BNS prompt card and stitch the prompt. Well, it was, there were 2 prompt cards that I pulled in February for that. And I have been racking my brain since February trying to figure out what projects of mine would match the 2 prompt cards that I picked. And in June, I was going to just change the prompt on that. I was going to pick 2 new prompts, potential prompts using my Black Needle Society prompt cards. I can't find my Black Needle Society prompt cards. So I have been sitting on it for a couple of months because I haven't been feeling the 2 prompt cards that were picked for this month. And I just decided yesterday that I was gonna stitch instead. I was gonna stitch. So come on, focus. There we go. Stained glass Hello Kitty. That is a birthday piece that I started a couple of years ago that is also full coverage. So for the month of July for WIPGO, I am going to be stitching Long Dog Samplers Pandemic because it is a monochromatic project. This is a freebie pattern that was a freebie pattern in 2020 put out by Long Dog Samplers when the pandemic first started. And I am stitching this on 28 count white even weave by Artis that I personally hand dyed with Rit dye. I'm using Sulky 12 weight thread in Blendables color Merlot blush, and I started it in 2020. So this is a piece of fabric that I hand dyed myself using Rit dye, and I picked Sulky 12 weight petites in Merlot blush for it. And this is all I've stitched on Pandemic so far. I have a lot to catch up on. I am using the Sulky 12 weight because I can use 1 strand and stitch with 1 strand. But I am hoping to get more of the motifs across the top in on this. I have to stitch 250 stitches for July, but this is my Pandemic, Long Dog Samplers Pandemic. I am quite a ways behind on this, so I'm really hoping to make some good progress in July on it. Hopefully I'll be using this for more than just WIPGO, but yeah. And this might be actually one of those pieces that I decide to put on the frames and work in hand. I don't know. I might be able to use the sewing method on this. I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't have to worry about getting the fabric necessarily so dirty or wet on this because it's not stamped. But this is Long Dog's Pandemic. This is one of my WIPGO squares for July. And then the second WIPGO square that I have for July is stained glass Hello Kitty. It is in my birthday bag, my birthday cross stitch bag. This is from Mama Joan, and it's in here because I started this on my birthday a couple of years ago. This is the stained glass Hello Kitty piece. I found this pattern on Etsy, so I am a big Hello Kitty fan. And I started this one on my birthday. Um, I started it March 19th of 2022, which is the day after my birthday, for the Semi-Sane 555 in the Semi-Sane Stitchers group. I frogged it on March 15th, 2023, because I restarted it in March on my birthday in March of 2023, doing 1/110. I was stitching this 1/1 full cross on 32 count easy count fabric, and I decided that I wanted to do tent stitch because it would go faster doing tent stitch. So this is, and I'm doing this on 32 count easy count fabric, and I actually when I restitched this and brought this back out, I actually ended up getting more stitching done on this than I had previously frogged. So I am doing this kind of in a diagonal stair step parking method. And this is Gangudon. He is one of the Sanrio characters. So I just have pretty much the upper corner here. This corner up here is where I've got stitched. So I'd like to make a little bit more progress on this year, and that is where I'm at. So this is going to be the other whip go square that I have to work on this year. I'd like to get a lot more done on this. Since it is half tent stitch, it's considered half stitches for most of the groups that I stitch in. So for every one cross stitch, you have to do 2 tent stitches. So if your goal is 100 stitches, I'd have to do 200 stitches on this in order to meet goal for any of the challenge group, most of the challenge groups that I'm in. But this is 32 count easy count fabric. So yeah, it'll go pretty fast. It goes pretty fast doing tent stitching. And I do have this in Pattern Keeper, so I can follow along. This is the printed thing, but this is what it's, this is what it's going to look like. It pretty much will fit in this frame here. And it might actually fit. This might be as big as it really is. So, the other thing that I'm hoping to do, so in the middle, the black thing in the middle of the hearts right there is supposed to say Sanrio, but it's not charted very well. I don't know if I've kind of gotten into recharting the Sanrio. You can see the Sanrio that I've started to work with in there. I am recharting that middle bit to say Sanrio so you can actually read it. But that is about the only major change I'm going on. As you can see, I've been parking threads. So I don't know if I'll make this one a stitch in hand kind of thing, or if I'm just going to leave it in the Q snaps and work on it this way. But anyway, I'm hoping to give this some love for the month of July for Whip Go. And I'm pretty much caught up, except for the February square and one of the June squares. Oh, and I have an April square to stitch on as well. I am pretty much caught up. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 squares on Whip Go to catch up on. So those are my Whip Go pieces for the month of July. All right. So that was Whip Go for the month of July. And the finishing up of June. So also for the month of July, Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Group, Magazine Monthly Challenge Cross Stitch Group. It was a group started by C. Zook Stitch, Carolyn Zook of C. Zook Stitch. She decided a couple years ago to start a magazine cross stitch challenge group because she knows that a lot of us have magazine projects that we don't necessarily give a lot of love to. And she wanted to create a challenge group where we would be focusing on stitching magazine projects. So the group originally started with a major focus on magazine projects. But she also knows that there's quite a lot of people that wanted to jump in and participate in a lot of her events that don't stitch out of magazines. So she very openly welcomes anybody that wants to stitch any of her challenges using non-magazine pieces. But the whole original thought behind her challenges, especially the theme for the group for the month, is to stitch on a magazine project. So July's theme is Southern. I don't know if I will, I don't know what I will pick for the theme. I have no idea. I don't know what, I haven't really picked out anything for Southern, but the acrostic this month is Cajun. And you can see here, I have pieces picked out. There we go. I have pieces picked out for the acrostic Cajun. So for C, I'm doing Enchanted Christmas Reindeer by Donna Gelsinger. It's a Heaven and Earth Design full coverage project. I am stitching on 32 count easy count fabric, 1/110. For A, I am doing Astral, the Cartoon Witches, the one I just showed you that was a new start in June. J, I am doing Jingle Bells, Enchanted Christmas Reindeer again. U, I'm doing Under the Sea, Saltwater Scrapbook by the Blue Flower and Lindy Stitches. And then N is No Talking. Shh, shh is a BDL XXX stitch, full coverage stitch along that was started by BDL XXX Stitch on their Facebook group last year. It was either last year or the year before last, but I haven't made hardly any project on the full coverage pieces. So for the magazine monthly challenge group, I have a lot of full coverage, except for Saltwater Scrapbook. Everything on here is full coverage, and I only have to do 100 to 100 or 200 stitches on each of them because they're going to be showing up multiple times. The 24 hours of cross stitch group, the acrostic this month is Marks and Needles, but you don't have the ampersand or the word and, so it's just Marks and Needles. As you can see, I actually have many of the letters spelled out, and the letters in here are also a lot of the Enchanted Christmas Reindeer, and the Cartoon Witches. So that is pretty much, oh, and Pandemic. And I am also doing Secret Slave Society by, I believe it is Tiny Modernist, because one of the Facebook challenge groups that I'm in, I am using 3 whips for it. So I have my little brain dump book that I take with me everywhere, and each month I draw in a calendar and I sit and plan out my stitching. This is mostly a stitching and crafting calendar that I keep with me all the time, and I also use it as a journaling book. So like I'll write notes in here. So you can see I write a bunch of notes in here, like just things I'm thinking of throughout the day. If I'm listening to podcasts and they're giving me a book list, I'll have a book list of stuff I can read. But this is just something that I keep with me as kind of a brain dump book. But I also keep a calendar of like a bunch of crafty things together, and puzzle things and video game things in one calendar in here. So I don't have to kind of judge up my my life planner that I keep out at work. And that one is for like appointments and just work stuff and whatnot. So I have like this crafty little calendar thing that I do. This is just a composition notebook that I have used scrapbook paper and covered the front of. This one happens to be a graph paper composition notebook. And I carry this kind of with me. This goes with me if I go upstairs. If I stay upstairs and stitch, this is next to me on the stitching, near my stitching piece. If I come in here to do videos, this comes with me. If I go downstairs to do video games, this goes with me. If I go to work, this goes with me. If I go anywhere that I think I might have a little bit of time to write anything down, this goes with me. This went with me to the board game convention so I could have a place to write some stuff down if I ever hope to. And I just put like random stickers on here, um, things that just kind of interest me. And then on the inside of my book, I have little folders that, little pockets that I've kind of glued in here that I could put things in. This is my brain dump journal, what I hope to do with it. And I can decorate it with stickers and washi tapes. Like in May, I had the really pretty May washi tape. I could do all kinds of goofy things in here for just to kind of make it like a brain dump thing. And so in here, I put some of the plans that I have for July. Um, so for stitching planning, Crafts and Books. Crafts and Books is another cross stitch challenge type group that focuses on also reading books. It's kind of like a book club, so to speak. But their acrostic this month is Beach Day. So a lot of the same projects that I have slated for the 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic and the magazine monthly challenge group. A lot of the pieces I'm going to stitch on that are also I'm going to keep track of it here, are also going to translate onto Beach Day from the 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic. So I have those acrostics. Siski Stitches is another Facebook group that I belong to, and they post weekly acrostics. This week's acrostic ends tomorrow at about 5 p.m. Eastern time, my time. And this week's acrostic is goblets, Goblets. So the new one for starting tomorrow night for me may already be out because she's in another country. Her time zone is ahead of us. So she usually posts it kind of early. So I'll have to double check to see if next week's acrostic is out, but that starts tomorrow around 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll be stitching for that as well. And I'll be stitching for those acrostics kind of on and off. My whole goal for 2026 is to simplify. And I've been finding out that I was doing a lot of Facebook challenge tracking. This was one of the challenge sheets that I was using to track the challenges. So I'd write the challenge in here. I'd write how many stitches I needed, how many stitches I stitched, and whether or not I'd check off whether or not I posted in the group about my progress and whatnot. So I used to keep track. Each day was one of these boxes. Each day was one of these bold boxes. And I used to track it. And I got to find sort of through last year that I was spending more time tracking than I was spending actually stitching. And I was hoping to simplify that this year, partly by reducing the number of challenges I'm in and also kind of reducing so I could reduce the amount of tracking I was needing to do each day and writing down everything. But I found also that not writing everything down, I was forgetting things that I was stitching for and not really kind of keeping myself accountable and whatnot. So I actually wasn't stitching a lot. Like in June, especially, I didn't stitch a lot. I stitched on 2 projects, and I was going to say that I stitched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I stitched 6 days in the month of June. That's all I stitched in the month of June out of 30. I stitched 6 days. I need to get more stitching done. I need to get more everything done. So I still need to track. So I went from this kind of daily format where I was just going to keep track of the stitches I did per day. And I came up with this Wednesday. This is just a list of the projects or the challenges that I'm doing, the projects I'm stitching on, the goals, the date and how many stitches I did and whether or not I posted. So I am hoping that this easier tracking will make not doing the whole daily thing a grind. And hopefully one sheet will be enough for me to track everything I stitch on that day. But this is my new stitch challenge tracking that I came up with. All right. So this is my July stitching that I keep next to my stitching chair. This is my log. So as you can see, the first and second I had a planning day, and earlier today, I stitched 128 stitches on Cartoon Witches. I had today off. Today is Friday. I had today off. So anyway, you'll see little stickies on different things that I have put in here. You also see here, back here on July 29th, down here in this gray box, I have that day off. That is my mom's birthday. So I take that off every year so I can spend time with her. So also in Siski Stitches, they do what's called a glamorous 3 every month, where you pick three whips, not 4. You pick 3 whips, and each day they randomly select a whip, and that day you have to put 100 stitches in. So I think we've got 4 rolls, maybe 5 rolls on there now. Maybe she's only done 4 because it's only in her country, they're in the 4th day already. So we have 4 rolls, and I know how many stitches I have to stitch so far on the 3 whips, but I have to catch up. So I'm hoping to catch up this weekend, and I'll probably use the weekends to catch up. I may be able to stitch throughout the week, but the 3 pieces that I selected for that were the BDL XXX stitch. And this is a Christmas Santa piece created as a stitch along for the BDL XXX Stitch Facebook group. And this is the pattern that I went with. It is Santa and Mrs. Claus. Really stinking cute. Because it is July, I am focusing a lot on wintry Christmas stuff, Christmas in July. So I have not stitched on this since last year. I started this piece. It was January 2025, square 20. I started this February 2025 last year. Didn't get very far. That is all the stitching I have done on it. It is basically right here. These 2 columns right there. There's 2 columns of stitching right there. You're not going to be able to see it because it's kind of washed out. But that is where I'm at. This is on 32 count easy count linen or easy count linen. And I am stitching 1/110 stitch on this as well. So this will go by really quick. I'm hoping to get a lot of progress in on this. And this is just using the DMC floss that's called for. So that is partly for Siski, partly for Christmas in July stitching, and also for some challenge group stitching. So anyway, that is that. One of the other pieces that I'm working on for the Siski Stitches is Secret Sleigh Society. Is this it? No. Secret Sleigh Society. That is up here. There it is. All right. So, Secret Sleigh Society is the Frosted Pumpkin, not Tiny Modernist. Frosted Pumpkin, Secret Sleigh Society. Secret Sleigh Society by the Frosted Pumpkin. So you are actually getting a little bit of a whip parade with this as well. This is going to be for Siski stitches and also whatnot. This is, I haven't worked on this one in a little while, but this is where I'm at. I have only done a little bit of the sleigh. So I have quite a bit left to do. As you can see, I have quite a bit left to do. All those little motifs in red and all the white and all the rest of the people. So, Secret Sleigh Society. I have a lot to stitch. So I'm hoping to make a little bit of progress on this through the Siski Stitches thing. I started this on November 3rd of 2018. So this is a rather old whip. And that is all the farthest I've gotten. This is a piece of, picture this plus 28 count gingerbread Lugana using the called for floss. And I started this November 3rd, 2018. So I have a lot of catching up to do for Secret Sleigh Society. So that is one of the whips for that. And then the third one that I'm doing for a lot of stitching and also for Christmas in July is Enchanted Christmas Reindeer. Of course, it's gonna be difficult and things are gonna fall. Yep, things are gonna fall. Anyway, it is in my Garan Toten Bags Christmas Cardinals thing. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork with Donna Gelsinger. This was for a Donna Gelsinger stitch along that happened a couple of years ago. This is Mini Enchanted Christmas Reindeer. Really cute. Donna Gelsinger. Let me see if I can find the little card. So I started this. I restarted this September 5th of 2021. I haven't gotten very far. This is also on 32 count easy count from Haid. And I restarted it. And I'm using the called for DMC and Kreinik. Haven't gotten very far. I did get past where I was before I restarted. But this is where I'm at. So you can see right here a little bit, that is one of the antlers of the reindeer. And I'm doing this 1/110 stitch as well, because it goes faster. It does go faster. Yep, 1/110. Okay. So those are the three pieces that I will be focusing on for the Siski Stitches Glamorous 3, which is also a big portion of the acrostics that I will be working on for this month. And I think that came off of this one. Yeah, I think that came off of here. So I will put that back in here. And this needs to go back in here. All right. For the other things that I'm stitching, I will be doing Whip Warriors. In the group Whip Warriors, I will be doing the Keep It Simple stitching. There's one project that you pick so you don't have to worry about stitching for other challenges. I am not doing the Ozabor stitching adventure. I had originally signed up at the beginning of the year to be a shopkeeper in their adventure, in their adventure game. And I have decided that I just can't keep up with it. As a way to simplify for this year, I have kind of backed myself out of the Ozabor stitching adventure for Whip Warriors. So I will be stitching in some of the Whip Warriors other events. But for the months that I can't really stitch on other events, I am just going to be putting my stitches simply in Keep It Simple Stitching, KISS, K-I-S-S. Keep It Simple Stitching. Just work on one project, show your progress, and that's all you have to do for the month, just to kind of stay active in the group. So that is what I'm doing for that. Semi-Sane, I am also doing the same thing in Semi-Sane. They have a focus challenge every month, but the focus challenge is, I'm going to just take this off because it's driving my eyes insane. But anyway, the focus challenge is you pick one piece and you stitch on it. Every 1,000 stitches you get entries into their giveaways at the end of the year. So I will be working on that. I am doing cartoon witches for that. And for magical stitches, we are stitching through Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot books. I am way behind in reading. I've only gotten into about a third of the way into the second book. And we are into the fourth or fifth book now. I think we're into book 5. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot of reading to catch up on. So for magical stitches, I'll be working on the monthly prompts for that. And then full coverage fanatics, they have Bingo Bonanza and Tour de France. Tour de France is coming up for full coverage fanatics. So I have a lot of full coverage pieces to work on. So I'll be working on those, like especially the Christmas pieces. All those Christmas pieces can go into full coverage fanatics. I am doing the Tour de France. I am picking the green jersey, which is the sprint portion because it's the least amount of stitches. And it's also the least amount of stitches per day that you have to stitch. I only stitch on the sprint days. So I am the green jersey for Tour de France. So I'll be stitching for that again. And then for the survival of the Stitch Village, they have kind of revamped the group, and we're doing things a little differently now. I am still on the Crossville group with Alara the Stitcher and a couple of other YouTubers and whatnot. And we are kind of starting a new game over, and we've been going through some events. I am getting back. I took a leave of absence out of the group for a couple of months, and I'm getting back into stitching for that. So I will be stitching, kind of actively stitching throughout the weeks in the survival of the Stitch Village. And that pretty much does it. One of my Facebook groups, Fandom Stitching, has now moved completely over to Discord. I've been thinking about jumping over to Discord to participate in some of their challenges. They have like a Yankee Doodle Dandy pop-up that is going on from now until the 16th. They have weeklies going on, and you basically post in the Discord group. I haven't been really following Discord because I'm not used to Discord. I'm more used to Facebook. But I may actually start getting into Discord a little bit more and seeing if there's even more challenge groups on Discord that maybe I can get involved in. And maybe we'll kind of do that. So I have all the acrostics and everything going on for you. You just had a little bit of my whip parade. So I'm not going to have to show you those projects for my whip parade now. So a little bit of taste of my whip parade. So woohoo! All right, I think that's it. I will actually get into a little bit of haul. So I kind of showed you the rods that I'm using to stitch in hand. To go along with that, a lot of the Cambodian and Thailand companies that produce the stamped cross stitch kits, they always send you these rubber fingers to use to help protect your stitching fingers from the points of the needle. And sometimes they also include this self-adhesive like bandage type stuff on a roll that you cut off bits and you wrap it around your finger, and it acts just like a thimble, like a rubber thimble or a fabric thimble for your fingers. And I don't want to order a bunch of stuff from like Temu and whatnot for it. And I found the same self-adhesive bandages at the grocery store. There it is. So the ones you can find at the grocery store look like this, and essentially, you pull it off the thing, and it's just a piece of stretchy fabric, and you just kind of roll it, and when you do that, it sticks onto your finger. See that? It sticks onto your finger. It sticks to itself. It doesn't stick to your skin, but you can use it kind of like a thimble. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of interesting. But sometimes when you order the overseas kits from like Cambodia and Thailand and whatnot, they'll send you actually a roll of this. And sometimes it'll be really pretty. I have little pretty patterns and stuff printed on it. I haven't been able to find the patterns, but this is just the self-adhesive bandage that I got from Walmart. This is Equate is a Walmart thing. I found this at Walmart, you know, in the Band-Aid section, the gauze and Band-Aid section. So I think there were 2 rolls for like $1.99 or something. So you can find it relatively cheap. Well, I kind of want something a little more fun than just brown. So I was on Amazon and this is what I got. So I have all this adhesive bandage now in all these colors. I have a dark blue one that is sitting over my stitching chair right now that I have been using to stitch on the colorful wishes that I'm doing in hand using the sewing method. So I have all this self-adhesive bandage stuff to use now. Actually, it works pretty good for a thimble. You wouldn't think that this would work really well for a thimble, but it actually works pretty good. It's been keeping my fingers from getting poked by the needle. But yeah, self-adhesive bandages can be a really good thing, and they don't stick to your skin. So a little bit of that. All right. If you've watched my channel in the last couple of years, you know that I've been getting the Craftways keepsakes calendars for the last several years. And I've also, in the last several years, been getting the Craftways Across Stitch Christmas hard book pattern books. And I got this several weeks back, or a couple weeks ago, and haven't shown it. So this year's A Cross Stitch Christmas book is called A Season to Cherish. And there's some really interesting things in here. The little freebie thing that you get along with the book has these patterns on it. I want to say these little snowmen things right here, the snow days, these ones here, I want to say they're Doreen Jones. I could be wrong about that. Does it say in here? I don't know if it says in here, but there are 6 of them that you can stitch. Really cute. And then in the book, I will do kind of a flip through for you of some of the pieces that you can see in here because they're really cute. So there's this really cute girl drinking tea with a fall Christmassy kind of wreath called Spices of the Season. There is the Merry Christmas Santa and the really neat stylized Christmas tree. There is the Merry Christmas and the church, a little old-fashioned church. There are the baubles, the Christmas baubles, and the little Merry Christmas thing. The Christmas baubles on the wreath. You actually stitch the baubles. There's 4 of them. That one is called Flickering Argyle. Little teeny baskets that you stitch. So that's the first section. Little church. This one is called Frosted Lavender. I might actually stitch this one. I really like the colorway on this reindeer. The greens and purples. Frosted Lavender. This is Doreen Jones. This is a Doreen Jones one. Then you have Jingle, a Biscornu, and a little wreath mat. So you probably won't stitch any of those. Then you have some more baubles and an angel tree topper. The angel tree topper is actually rather pretty. You can easily make her into a tree topper. And then you have little baubles. Oops. Little baubles. All right. Move on to the next section. This one is a Emma Congdon. May your days be merry and bright. Very much an Emma Congdon. Then you have a little banner with 6 designs and a little like candy sampler or quilt block sampler. Yep. Then you have a stocking and some more baubles. Really cute stocking. The reindeer and a penguin. And then you have a snowman, Let It Snow. And a little corgi. A little corgi here. Countryside Christmas. It's a little house with a snowman. Then you have cards, some Christmas cards, and another little storefront that you can stitch. The storefront is actually really cute. This storefront over here. Whoops. This one over here is really cute. Then you have a chicken, a sheep, and a cow scene with a Christmas tree and a very pretty Christmas tree. You have a dog, a very pretty dog, and a really cute sheep, Christmas sheep. You can hear the fireworks going off. And then you have a little mouse in a teacup. Let's see what the last section has. This one is a bunch of little baubles. So you have a bunch of little Christmas baubles. Ooh, that's really cute. Annette Erickson. It's an Emma Congdon angel. And then icons and different Christmas icons. So the angel over here is an Emma Congdon angel. She's actually really cute. I might end up stitching her. She's cute. Then you have a mid-century little Christmas scene that's actually way cute, and have a tremendous holiday card and a little bear in a sweater with a coffee. Look at this scene over here though. This mid-century modern, that is very much my husband. My husband would probably really like me to stitch that. So I may actually end up stitching that for us because he really likes mid-century modern. Very much, that's very much his style. I don't think I've shown that to him. All right, and I believe that's actually, nope, there's one more section in here. This one is called Red, White, and Christmas. Yep, Red, White, and Christmas. It is a Santa stocking. Then you have a Madonna and some like traditional little bags by Elizabeth Spurlock. The Madonna. And then the little bags. And then you have a very stylized little tree, little swirly tree, and some other little icons with holly and stuff. Little swirly tree bag. It's a wine bottle bag, but you don't have to make it into a wine bottle bag. Is that it? Nope. And then you have these little kind of gnomish Santa, little gnomish Santas right there. You're not going to be able to see them really well, but they're little gnomish Santas that you can stitch in different colors. It's the same pattern, just stitched in different colors. There's a light blue, a darker blue, and kind of a red, pink. But yeah, so. And that is it for this book. So that is the Craftways, A Season to Cherish. There's some cute stuff in here that I may actually end up stitching. So that is part of my haul. Okay. The latest issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine is out. This is very much an American celebration focused magazine. Um, Lots of patriotic things in here for America and our 250th celebration. Again, like I said in the beginning of the video, I haven't been really into patriotic stuff. There's some neat things in here though in this issue that I may consider stitching, maybe. Um, yeah, I can't do the patriotic things, you guys. I'm definitely not feeling the patriotism. It's really, really kind of sad that I'm not. Yeah, there's a lot of patriotic stitching in here, so I don't know if any of this will even pique my interest in stitching. Lots of patriotic stuff in here for us. It's a good issue. It has some good stuff. This one actually isn't so bad. The 1776 with the American flag. It's a punch needle thing. All right. This is kind of pretty. It's not patriotic, but that's kind of pretty. Violets are blue. Strawberry salt box. That's kind of kind of neat. I like salt box houses. I've been getting into salt box houses. So yeah. Oh, this one's very bright. It's a punch needle thing. I probably won't do, but it's very bright. All right, so that is the latest issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. If you do get the actual book subscription, the physical subscription, you do have access to the digital as well to download, and you have access to all the every single past issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine if you subscribe. So I encourage you to subscribe because then you get all of the great things. Speaking of Punch Needle, I was looking on a Facebook group and I came across a one-day punch needle retreat here in kind of central Ohio. It's up in Millersburg, which is up in Ohio, Amish country. So if you're seeing little flashes, I don't know if you're picking up on the flashes, but the fireworks at Disneyland are going on right now on my TV screen. So you might actually be seeing like random flashes of stuff. Yeah, you can kind of see them, I guess, on the thing. So if you see like that, so if you see like, the flashes of whatnot, it's because of the TV screen. The TV screen, the fireworks are going off at Disneyland right now, and it's on the TV because of the YouTube channel that I'm watching. But anyway, I came across a one-day punch needle event going on up in Millersburg, Ohio, which is kind of northeast of where I live here in Columbus. And it's in Amish country, and it's called the Harvest Hook-In, and it's at the Holmes County Fairgrounds up in Millersburg, Ohio. It's coming up July 25th. I am going up for the day and spending a day doing punch needle, so that'll be exciting. It'd be also kind of interesting because Teresa Kogut, who also does cross stitch designs, she is going to be there as well with quite a few of her punch needle things as well. So I get to spend the day doing punch needles. So I will be doing punch needle things. So I will hopefully be doing a video for you of the hook-in, Harvest Ridge hook-in from Holmes County, Ohio, at the end of the month. I'm planning on driving up there that morning because it starts at 10 a.m. and goes until 4. So it's only about an hour and a half drive. So should be able to make it up there in the morning. Unless, of course, my husband just urges me to go get a hotel room in the area Friday night. I may drive up Friday night, but I don't know. It's only an hour and a half. And it's a fairly easy drive from here. So I don't know if I'll make the drive Saturday morning and just be up there for the day or not. I'm going by myself. It is not going to be with my mom. She doesn't know I'm going to this event yet. I wanted to go by myself just to see what the venue is like and to see if she can get around okay, and to see if it's a group that I think she could sit and stitch and be with for the day. So I'm just going up by myself. So that is the Harvest Ridge Hook-In up in Holmes County, which is Amish country. on Saturday, July 25th. I'm looking forward to that. It's my first ever punch needle event, so that'll be kind of fun. I will be taking punch needle with me that day, and I'm hoping to get some tips and tricks because in my finishing stack up over here, I have some punch needle things to finish. Actually, I have some finished punch needle that I just need to fully finish. And I'm hoping to get some tips on how to do that. So I'm hoping for some great things for that. Lots of things going on. Different Facebook groups have different Zooms. Whip Warriors have different Zooms throughout the month. Lots of different things going on. Really looking forward to doing various things. I'm also considering doing various day specific stitching subjects, so to speak. So like on Mondays, I can call them Meow Mondays and work on cat projects. Because I do have a new start that is another full coverage project. It is another stamped cross stitch project that is a very colorful cat, and I'd really like to start stitching on that as well. So I may make Mondays Meow Mondays and work on cat projects because I have several cat projects going. I may do Stitch Along and Sampler Saturdays and Sundays, or Santa Saturdays and Sundays, especially for July, and make those working on Santa projects like my Mr. and Mrs. Claus project that I have going on. Doing full coverage Fridays because I have a lot of full coverage stuff that I need to get working on, and just doing stuff like that. Sammy J Stitches, she's setting weekly goals, and she has decided to do something where if she meets her weekly goals, she spins the wheel to see if she gets to start something new. So if she meets at least 3 weekly goals, once she meets that third goal, she can spin a wheel to see if she starts something new. And if it says yes, she starts something new. And if it says no, then she just keeps going until she gets 3 more goals done. She gets 3 more goals done, she spins the wheel again. Yes or no, she may or may not do a new start. She is basing that kind of on the Caffeinated Crafter, another YouTuber that she has been watching. And I need to figure out, a way to get more stitching in. So that is why I am doing some of these things and also trying to simplify. But anyway, that is pretty much everything. Oh, no, that is not everything I have for you. I also belong to the Be Stitch Me fabric of the month. I get 40 count Verdal even weave. The Be Stitch Me 40 count Verdal even weave is like stitching on butter. It is so nice. And I got the June fabric of the month last week. This one is called Tropical Island, and you're not going to be able to see the colors on this. What looks like white is actually a very gorgeous green color, you guys. It's a green. So it washes out, but that is a green and a peach. It is so pretty. This one, the top part is more peach. It looks more orange. Let me go ahead and drop this down for you so you can see. Peaches down into orange, into greens. Peaches into greens. It is so pretty. This is so striking. And the colors are just washed out. So you're not going to get the full effect of this, but it is just absolutely stunning. I really love this 40 count Verdal. If I could make all of my fabric 40 count Verdal, I would. But anyway, it's the Be Stitch Me Tropical Island, and it's the June fabric of the month by Be Stitch Me. But it's 40 count Verdal. Come on. Focus. There we go. 40 count Verdal. Be Stitch Me. Love their fabrics. Love, love, love their fabrics. So that is newest fabric. Mo Sale did a die of their annual Rainbow Pride floss. I got 2 hanks of the Moselle Rainbow Pride floss that they dyed. Look at those colors. Oh my goodness. I got 2 skeins. It's called Rainbow, but it's Moselle silk floss. Rainbow. I will be stitching Mo Bittner had stitched a little sun motif using rainbow flosses. I fell in love with it, and they sent me the pattern that they created for it. So I will be doing a tribal sun pattern using my rainbow flosses. I also have more rainbow floss that Mo dyed a year or 2 back that I purchased as well. I think I'm going to be buying their Pride floss every year. But so I have this year's rainbow floss, so I'll be using that for sure for the tribal sun pattern that I will be pulling out once I get the fabric for it. But rainbow floss added to my stash. And back in April, I attended the Downton Abbey Black Needle Society online virtual retreat. And during the weekend, I won a couple of the raffle draws. So I received my Black Needle Society Downton Stitching at Downton raffle draws. So one of the pieces I won was Tomato Harvest by Lucy Beam. Tomato Harvest is really cute. And then I got 2 little needle minder things that are really, really, really cute. This one is actually, I think, a scissor fob, a pin. It's a little scissor fob pin. It is a little tea bag. Because, of course, I'm not sure it's going to focus. Is it going to focus? Nope. But it is by the Primitive Hair Pins Collection. There we go. Royal Crown Tea. Little scissor fob type thing. And then I have a little teacup needle minder that I thought is really cute. A little teacup needle minder that I won. So these were my winnings from the Stitching at Downton little retreat that I went to in April. I will be doing Stitching at Downton retreat until they're done. So I think it's going to be at least 2 more years. So yeah, that is what I have. So I was telling you about the punch needle retreat and everything like that. Lindy Stitches is doing the Midsummer Stitch weekend event coming up July 18th and 19th. It's only $10 to register for that, and it is completely online and virtual. You can go to Lindy Stitches website to sign up for that. It is called Midsummer Stitch. It's much like her Jingle Ball that she holds in December. So it's a very similar concept where you go online and they have Zoom rooms and stuff, and you just kind of sit and stitch all weekend, and you can buy stuff, and there's designers that have special patterns for sale during the Midsummer Stitch. I haven't exactly decided yet if I'm going to spend the $10 for access to the event that weekend. It's July 18th and 19th. And I just signed up a day or 2 ago for another virtual stitching retreat. This one is by the Cross Stitch Society. I will put the links to the Facebook groups and everything that I talk about here down below in the description box. But the Cross Stitch Society is another Facebook group that I have been in that does local meetups. Well, not local, but they do meetups around Ohio and kind of in this, mid-Ohio Valley kind of area. And they're hosting a Lord of the Rings Fellowship virtual retreat, and I signed up for it. It's $40 for the weekend, and it's called Fellowship of the Floss virtual retreat, and it's based on Lord of the Rings, obviously. And it is coming up August 27th through the 30th. So I will likely be taking at least a day or 2 off for that in August. And that is hosted by the Cross Stitch Society. It's $40 for the weekend, but you get some exclusive patterns and whatnot, and you just get the chance to participate. It's much like the Stitching at Downton retreats, hosted by Black Needle Society. I'm assuming it's very much going to be like that, but they're doing a Lord of the Rings focused one, and it should be kind of fun. But it's coming up in August. I just signed up for that. And Camp Got a Stitch, they have not finalized times and everything for that yet. So when I know information about Camp Got a Stitch, which is the needlework retreat or cross stitch retreat that is held by my local needlework shop, Cross My Heart, here in Columbus. They hold it up in Amish country every year. When we get information about when registration opens for that, I will be letting you guys know. And I'll also let you know the store's contact information so you can get in touch with them if you're interested in going. And Cat Jones from Valkyrie Stitchworks has also announced the dates for the Stitching in the Springs retreat in Yellow Springs, Ohio, the very small retreat Mom and I have been going to and really enjoying. She didn't have one last year because she was hoping to open up a bookstore, cross stitch store with her brother, and that didn't come to fruition because of all the tariff issues and everything and the shipping issues going on. But they weren't able to open the store. So she is bringing back the Stitching in the Springs retreat in November. So unfortunately, there is no registration information up for that yet, but we will also hopefully be signing up for that. So we have those two retreats coming up towards the end of the year. And also we are looking to go back to Warren, Ohio, Youngstown, Warren, Ohio for the fall stitch-in. So we're hoping to go back there for that again this year. So we have 3 more retreats coming up. I have a couple of virtual retreats that I'm going to be participating in. I have that punch needle event. It should be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Really getting excited. So lots of stitching going on. I gave you all kinds of updates. I showed you some whips. So you even got a little bit of a whip parade. So welcome. Thank you very much for stopping in today. I'm just trying to get through some of my videos that I need to record just so I can get through all my plans and stuff. So thank you very much for stopping by. I'm really glad you're here. I'm really glad to have you as a friend. And just remember, I give mom hugs and you belong. You're welcome here. You're safe here. And if your family no longer supports you, well, I'm your family now. So welcome in. I hope you like it here and I hope you're willing to stay. So that being said, just keep your head up and keep moving forward because that's really all we can do. Right now, keeping your head up isn't exactly so easy. And yeah, I hope you're having a good celebration weekend. If you're here in the United States with me, I'm just going to be plugging along and just kind of, I meant to tell you too. We found out at work that, we have been in our little satellite building since September of 2023. We've been there's about 800 of us off to a little satellite building that's kind of in the front of our main big building. Our main big building has been under renovation since 2023, and the renovation is finally complete. Unfortunately for us, we are going from having cubicles, having private little cubicles, to having honeycomb desks where 8 of us are stuffed right next to each other within 3 feet. Our chairs can knock each other, and we're going to have no privacy. We are going back to the main building because the whole renovation they've completely ripped everything out of the building. They took it down to the cement and the I-beams and the studs, and they redid the ductwork, and they're redoing everything, and they're putting in little honeycomb desks. The desks suck. The desks are going to suck in a big way. But for the last, say, 9 months to a year, we've been in our building with cubicles and no assigned desks. Huge mistake to not give everybody assigned desks. So each day I go in with a big bag of stuff that I have to take to and from work with me every single day because I'm not supposed to lock anything up in a desk because I'm not going to probably sit at that desk the next day. So yeah, it's been kind of rough, and I'm a little salty about this whole situation. we found out, much to my happiness, but still, I'm not thrilled about the environment we're going into with not having private desks like we do now, like little cubicles that we have our own little space. We will have assigned desks. Thank God. That is like, because my whole thing is I didn't want to walk into a situation where every day I had to go in and find an empty desk to sit at. I get in at 9:30. Most of the people in the building are in there by 8 or 9 o'clock. So for me getting in at 9:30, I'm already second to last person in on my team every day. There's one guy that comes in about 1 o'clock. I didn't want to be stuck halfway across the building at a desk where I had a bunch of people walking by me because it's in the open area. And that's what we're essentially getting with these desk setups. And I was really, 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 really dreading the fact that I'd have to just find a random open desk every day that I got into work. We're on mandatory working in the office 5 days a week. We don't have the option of working remotely anymore, which is really stupid too. But anyway, um, so we have assigned desks. So that is the one good thing. We are slated to move in back to the main big building August 24th. So we have a date now, August 24th. Friday, August 21st, we're working from home, which is a good thing. But
Happy 4th of July and good night.
Good night. So anyway, that was my mom. She is going to bed because it is a little after 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. But anyway, we will be having assigned desks, which is, it kind of relieves me. It kind of relieves a lot of my major things. Also with the assigned desks, all the little desktop. Well, the good thing about the desks, they're all sit stand. So now I'll have the option to stand up. All the new desks are sit stand. So that is good. They have the automation where you can raise and lower them. And each desk has a little cubby. It's like a little, like 12 by 12 locker space attached to the desk that has a little locking numbered keypad thing. So we will be given a number combination to those little cubbies, and we will finally have a little cubby where we can store things overnight. That is the other benefit. So I will be able to reduce the amount of crap I walk into the building with every day and have to take home with me every night. I'm looking forward to that as well, which means I can leave my hoodie there, my coffee pot, my coffee mug, my creamer, my 0 calorie, zero everything sugar sweetener, um, knives, forks, and spoons, napkins, tissue, hand lotion, my hoodie to keep me warm. Just I can leave some stuff in my little cubby, which we don't have now. We have the file drawers and everything like that, but we're not supposed to be keeping everything locked up in them because we're not sitting at the same desk every day. I think I sit at the same desk twice in any given week. And sometimes there's weeks that I don't sit in that desk, which also means I don't sit near my coworkers, which is really kind of stupid if you think about it. I mean, the whole reason why we're in the office is to collaborate. And if I don't have an assigned desk near my coworkers and I get in later than most of everybody else, how am I sitting with my coworkers so I can collaborate with them? It is the dumbest thing ever. Anyway, a little salty about that. But we are moving back into the main building the end of August. It has been 3 years since we have been over there, and all the construction should be done. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to the desks that we're going to have, but I am looking forward to having my own desk back again. Thank God. But we shall see. So the end of August, September, I don't know how the end of August or September is going to go. But anyway, I kind of anticipate there's going to be a little bit of adjustments that need to be done when we move, but we shall see. Anyway, that is all the stuff I have for you. Sorry, this video is a little bit long. I went a little bit long in the discussions and all that. But hopefully you got something out of this. and hopefully I enabled you to maybe pick up a new project, try something new, try some stamped cross stitch, maybe try stitching in hand a little bit more. Just try something new. So um, I am hopefully sometime this weekend going to be doing a whip parade. I gave you some of my whips. So I gave you a little bit of a whip parade, and I will be doing a little bit more of a whip parade here for you this weekend. So I am hoping to get some of that started. One of the other things that I'm hoping to do, I have been getting into 3D sticker scenes. I don't have them anywhere in reach, but there are these little isometric 3D sticker scenes where you have a little room and you put all the furniture and stuff in the room. They're little stickers. You put the shelves in and you put everything on the shelves and you put the table, the or it might be like a little convenience store. So you have all the shelves and you put all the bottles on the shelf and you put all the food in the refrigerators and you put all the sushi stuff on the platters on the counters and all that stuff. So and it's little sticker scenes. They're all little stickers that you place in your rooms. I've been getting into those a lot in the last couple of months. I have a stack of stuff, and I have anyway, I have stuff to show and share. And for Amazon Prime Day, I got a couple more. So I do have some stuff to share for 3D sticker scenes. In one of the 3D sticker scene groups that I have joined on Facebook, one of the ladies, I believe she's here in the United States, she said that she recently found the sticker scenes as well. Unfortunately, a lot of the sticker scenes that you have to purchase or that are available for us to purchase, you either purchase through TikTok Shop, Temu, Shein, AliExpress, or Amazon through an Asian seller on Amazon. And a lot of the sets are in Asian. There's Asian languages printed on the kits and stuff. So they're not in English. And a lot of them there really aren't any instructional videos on how to complete your 3D sticker scene things. So one of the ladies posted asking in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, asking for tips on how to even start, where does she even start putting her stickers on her 3D sticker scene. She really wants to get into them, but it's frustrating her because she can't find instructions. So I kind of put it out there that, like, hey, I'm fairly new to this too, but I have an idea of how to get started and I have some tips that I could share. Do you think it would be helpful if I did a how-to video on how to start these isometric 3D sticker scene sets? And so I'm going to be putting a series of those out and just kind of showing them. So I'll be doing that as well. And just different things like that. So I will be hopefully at the end of this month having a punch needle retreat uh, video and also doing 3D sticker scene how-tos videos for you as well. I also have one of those Book Nook things to do. There's Book Nook Facebook groups and stuff on how to put together book nooks. I have, of course, a Hello Kitty book nook. This is one of those wooden book nook things that you put together. I have a Hello Kitty one to put together, so I may actually be doing a video on that as well. Just different things going on that I have. So I don't know if I don't know if people want to see my how-to on how to take a composition book and turn it into a brain dump book. Just how to decorate the outside. It's really easy. You take scrapbook paper, you cut it, you use double-sided tape and or glue adhesive and make it. I've been doing these. I have about 8 of them to go to make. But I was gonna give these as Christmas gifts. I'm probably gonna give these as Christmas gifts to like my sister-in-law, my niece, and just some other people that I know. Maybe take them to work and give them to a couple people at work. But yeah, so I have that I can show you. I also might be putting together some more melty bead stuff, like items for cross stitching, like more needle minders and whatnot. just different stuff. So I have a stash haul that I'm probably going to be do, like what's in my stash, so you can see all the patterns and stuff that I have collected over the years, all my memorabilia, some of my Teresa Wensler stuff. Just I have all kinds of stuff I can do for you guys. So I have all kinds of stuff potentially planned for you. So that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you got something out of this video, and I hope you come back next time. So take care, keep your head up, and keep moving forward. Hope you guys have a good 4th of July here in the United States if you're celebrating. And we shall see you soon. All right, everybody? Take care. Good night. And get some rest, get some sleep, and take care of yourself first, because you matter, you belong, and you're welcome. And you are important. So thank you very much. Thank you.